Started the live stream only. You can start whenever you are ready.
So we are live now?
Yes.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. So we'll do a recap of what happened yesterday. So we have been going through the several sessions so far, and each of the session we have been covering a specific aspect of the meditation. In the sense, though we started covering the ego aspect, identity aspect, then emotion aspect of it, and then we talked about karma and forgiveness, self-love, and yesterday we actually talked about silence and stillness. So as part of the session yesterday, so silence and stillness, we define what is silence and what is stillness. So the definition, one line definition is going from mental noise to inner silence. Stillness is going from restlessness to deep stillness. Now, as we went through the session, as we expanded that to understand that silence is not the absence of sound, and it is not about talking. I mean, not about not talking. So when we say not talking is silence, that's a generally that's how we attribute the silence to the not being able, not talking in that moment, but it is only at the surface level. And surface silence is also not the absence of sound. It's also not forcing the mind to stop. It's also not suppressing the thoughts. So, and then if it is not, if these things are not silence, then what is silence? So one sentence we talked about mental noise to inner silence. It means that absence of mental noise and awareness without the commentary in the system, space in which the thoughts appear and disappear. That means it's like if you go to a theater, it's a blank screen to start with, and then you have one advertisement, and then there is a gap, another advertisement. It's more or less in the similar fashion. So you have a space, which is a silence, which always exists. Then in that space, you have thoughts coming one after another with a gap in between. So and then we talked about stillness, and the definition is, as we discussed, restlessness to deep stillness, which means it's not the absence of movement. It means that so we are, and it is also not about sitting without moving, which means that's a general definition. When you say stillness, we talk about sitting without moving, but that's only at the surface level again. So it is about the absence of inner movement, stability in the awareness, and it is not something which we create. It happens naturally when the inner resistance stops. That's when the stillness appears, or stillness is born, you can say. But it is not something which we create. It happens naturally. And we talked about, there are scientific research papers available, um, what silence can do. So it helps with neuroplasticity. It means growth of new neurons and cognitive clarity. With these basically helps with the memory, learning, problem solving, etc. So there is a lot of research around that area. When we are in the deep state, uh, whatever is in the inner system will come out. It means that as you stop, as we try to get into the silence, as mind comes down, mind slows down, the emotions will kick in. You will see the emotions. That's what whatever is in the inner system will start coming out. And as they come out, and as you start observing them, it's more of a it's a neurological reset. That's what we talked about, and that's what we call it. And we went through the different phases of silence as part of the conversation. So first level, we talked about surface level. It is something which is in the very beginning stage. At that point, you don't talk, obviously, yes, but then, but which can be practiced, obviously. As we practice that, then we get into the second level, which is the mental silence. And as we start focusing on the breath, the thought pattern will come down. This can also be practiced, as we know. But the next phase, as we cross the second level, as we going to the next level, it's moving into the inner silence part of it. This cannot be practiced. That happens naturally. It will happen as you do second level practice. You at some point you will get into this inner silence state, which is the awareness without the identification. So we have with that, it means that we have to remember to stay in the awareness. As we go through it, there are, we talked about Savikalpa, Nirvikalpa Samadhi states. So they happen after once we cross this. So we talked about those things. And then as we are in the inner silence,
Mhm.
slowly all the psychological, emotional movements, basically, because as we go deeper, these things are stabilized slowly. And at some point, when these things are stabilized, we hit the stillness. So that's the practice. So from we start from silence, as we go deeper, we hit the stillness, and that's where everything happens. So we went through these aspects in detail. We also practiced these all these phases as part of the session yesterday. So we observed that, these are some of the things. As we were going through the practice, we wanted to observe in the initial stages what is uncomfortable. Each one of us might be uncomfortable with different things. So identify what is uncomfortable for each one of them. That's the first level, and second level as well. So what is blocking you to shift from one phase to another phase? So identify, note them down, and as we continue to practice, we basically have to figure out a way to overcome them. We also observed in the session that silence is already there, as we talked about the example I was talking in the earlier. So movie theater example. So the the screen is there, just like the screen is there, silence is already there. As one advertisement comes, another other there is once the advertisement is done, then you have a gap, then there is another advertisement comes. So between the gap between one advertisement versus and the other one, that's where the gap is. That's the silence. So thoughts are basically we observe how the thoughts flow in that space during the session, and at some point we hit the stillness. And one thing we need to observe is we need to make sure we are a witness and allow everything to happen and stop resisting for anything during this phase. So accept everything. So as we are in the stillness state, we slowly see a or feel a beautiful calmness as we are in that state. So we kind of went through it during the session, and conclusion out of it is remember to be in awareness, to stay in silence. That's very important. Whenever we are in stillness, everything gets dissolved, including the identity. Remember the calmness during the stillness. So once you feel the calmness, try to remember that calmness. It will encourage us to get there easily the next time when we try to get there, when we try to sit. It helps us to get there faster. And note down any blocks or frictions or any uncomfortable situations during this practice, and note them down and work on them for the progression. So that is the recap of what we did yesterday. Anybody have any questions?
Anil, వచ్చావా?
Okay. If there are no questions, I think we can get started with the session. Anil Garu.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful recap. Recap is always beautiful. So, as we are talking or moving into the phase of transformation, what is left out of transformation is mastery. So, when you practice
మంత్రానికి వచ్చావా?
to transform yourself,
Okay, good.
you become a master. Master of enlightenment is what we call. So, last 3 days, we have been touching upon the transformation aspect of the workshop, which is very subtle, and only sincere and serious aspirants would get there. So, I kind of assuming, that you are doing your meditation, because for all of this to come together, the conversations that we are having today about the concept of awareness, silence, stillness, the concept of I am, concept of soul, everything comes to light when you have your deeper state of meditations. So please do continue to do your meditation every day and make sure that you are taking opportunities to ground yourself with nature, having a light walk and all that. So with that, let's get started for today's topic. What we have been discussing so far, if you have caught on to it, is every day we have been trying to use awareness as a key measure to say, okay, through my emotions as a medium, am I getting into awareness? Through my body, am I getting into awareness? Through my senses, I'm getting into awareness. Through my feeling and sensation, am I getting into awareness? And thoughts and the mental space, we spoke about a lot of different things in a lot of different ways, but ultimate goal was to be in the awareness. Now, what we'll do is we'll take this one step further. Okay, is awareness means that only in my meditation do I have to get that? Or is there an opportunity for me to get that outside of meditation? And that is what we're going to talk. Today's session is basically moving out from practice of meditation to living in awareness for every moment. Basically, I am not consciously going and sitting and meditating, which you can do certainly, but I am also living meditation. The outcome of what my meditation practice is giving me is what I am going to live outside of it. Living with awareness every moment is enlightened. Right? So, as part of the transformation exercise, what we'll do is we'll try to return to the awareness. We'll do the little more practice. You have to be aware, not just when you are silent, when everything is stopped. We have to learn to be aware while thinking, while acting, while speaking, while relating to anything, not just in silence. In our real life, you have to be in aware every single moment. That is the goal, and that is enlightenment. That's what we'll practice today, a little bit with the wisdom on that, and then we'll go into that. So let's take an opportunity to ground ourselves to come to the present state just for 2 minutes. Please clasp your fingers, cross your foot, returning to the awareness. The most important aspect of session is returning to the awareness. Just be with your breath. Just notice, right? No effort, no control, no pushing away inner senses. Just be aware. Just be aware. Awareness is all it takes. Take off your glasses, sit comfortably, bring your awareness together. Nothing. Nothing else is needed. You will notice that awareness is already here. You're already there. There's nothing you should do. Just be there in that state. Just for 2 minutes, my dear masters. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands, open your eyes, and gently, whenever you're ready, release. As we have come to the base of awareness in the presence, so let's get started today. It's such a beautiful thing. All the sessions that we have done so far is for this day to come. So today is the most important day of the 11-day sessions. So thank you for all of you for being here. So what we are trying to do today is we are trying to understand whatever the outcome that I am getting out of my meditation, I have to live by that outcome, right? Throughout my day. So meditation is, how many of us think that meditation is an activity? Anyone thinks meditation is an activity? No one? It's good. And how many of us think that it is a mode of perception? All right. So meditation is certainly not an activity, but it can turn into a mode of perception. Why? The simple answer is, when you sit, like for most people, when you meditate, what happens after you meditate and you come out into your life is you return to the unconscious living, right? I meditate, I become a very conscious being in meditation with awareness. I come out of it. On my daytime, I am again living unconsciously. So today's session is the gap. It will bridge this gap. Whatever this gap that we have, whatever I am doing in my meditation, I am able to become that awareness. Now, that awareness I should also have when I am outside of meditation. That is what we are doing today. So, living as awareness, not just through meditation, but outside as well. Because that is transformation. Transformation is what my identity, irrespective of my thoughts, my emotions, my psychological sensations, everything being there, what I am getting through is I am getting lost with my identity, right? Instead of getting lost with your own identity, now with the practice, we are supposed to be aware through those identities, whatever may be that. It may be a memory identity, it may be a conditioning identity, it may be a control identity, it may be a fear, guilt, whatever that may be. One thing that is bothering you, you are disidentifying itself and you're becoming the awareness during your daytime while everything is happening. You are in a serious meeting at your work, you are talking, right? You are speaking, there is conversations going on, there is absolutely, you are driving, you are doing, like you are eating, wherever, there is nothing like you cannot be in the state of awareness, and nothing can stop you to be in that state because you are that. How many of us are thinking that, okay, I need to get enlightened? How many of us are looking? Just raise your hands. Okay, so a couple of you have raised, saying that you are in the path of enlightenment, or you think you are looking for enlightenment, right? So where is enlightenment? Is it in the, where are you seeing that enlightenment? Is it near future for you? You're almost there. So enlightenment is not something that you seek. Enlightenment is not a path. You will never look for enlightenment, because anything that you are doing, then you are accepting that you are not that. That's an illusion. You have to come out of that illusion. That's the biggest illusion. The fact that you are saying that I wanted to go get enlightened means that you are not there yet. Then you are saying that I am is not something somebody gave some kind of a mantra. That mantra is not a true mantra. But I am that I am is there. Aham Brahmasmi is there. Everything what scriptures have said, masters have said, have already been told. Yeah, anyone would like to talk? Because this is important for us to understand. What you are seeking, you are already that. So if you are seeking that in the future, then you will never be able to seek it. You have to remember. Yeah, any questions? Any questions, Rini sir?
Yeah, is enlightenment is like experiencing like the shunya, like a thoughtless or like thoughts comes and goes, and you are calm during meditation. That's all. Like once you wake up, again you move on to the activity. The mind comes. Um,
That is not enlightenment.
no, during the meditation, that is also not enlightenment.
That is not even us. That has nothing to do with enlightenment.
Oh,
Whatever
okay.
that calmness your mind is giving you, whatever the peace that you are experiencing in the meditation, the bliss state, all that is not enlightenment. Enlightenment is about observe and observer becoming one and stabilizing in that oneness. That is enlightenment.
24/7.
24/7. Yes. There is no one, there is no identity within you anymore. That identity is annihilated. It is gone. So you know that you are the awareness and you have stabilized in that awareness.
So by practicing more and more meditation,
You will get there.
Okay.
But all these, whatever you spoke about, are the phases, states.
Okay.
They are taking you there. They are not there. See, why we are doing transformation here, right? You have to understand why I need to observe. Most of the time we think, okay, after observing, I am already there. Observation is the first phase of enlightenment. It's the first stage. You're not enlightened yet. You have just started the process of enlightenment because you have disidentified yourself from everything else, whatever is false. That recognition is the gate. So you are at the gate when you become the observer. But what has to happen is the observer and the observed has to become one. And you have
That
to
is the more toughest one.
It's not tough. It just, you have to stabilize yourself in that, right? That's why it requires a lot of, you have to remember, this is not something that I come and do it and then afterwards I am on my own kind of a thing, right? Whoever is sincere in an attempt to get your enlightenment, what you do is you bring that into your core practices and you live by that core practices. No matter what is happening, whether you are thinking, whether the emotion is happening, whether there is an action is happening, you always are remembering that you are the awareness under which everything is happening. That is the goal. That is the key. What happens when you bring that awareness to yourself every now and then there is a very subtle shift that happens within you. It can happen anytime, depending upon your practice, your ability to remember. So I'm saying practice, the practice is only on the meditation aspect of it. But being in that state, it is a natural thing. You just have to remember that you got a thought. What is happening today is I'm getting lost with my thought. Am I supposed to get lost with my thought? Or am I supposed to remember that thought is happening in the space of awareness, which is what I am? I'm supposed to remember that, but I am not. That is the thing that we are doing today. That is the bridging gap. So as simple as living as awareness means being conscious of your experience while it is happening. Not future, not past. While it is happening, you are there. Right? That's why awareness that only you get in meditation, right? If you say that, okay, in the earlier cases, before this session, We are only used to getting awareness in meditation. Even on that, most of us get lost with our experiences, right? How many of us are really focusing on the witness aspect of it, the seeing aspect of it? You are the seer, right? How many of you are looking at the seeing quality is getting enhanced or not in meditation? Not many. So we still get lost with the thoughts, or we still get lost with the experiences. Mind always gives this some kind of a, illusion, right? So now what happens with the session today is, now you are not just in meditation, you are looking for awareness during the life itself. In your day life, whatever you are doing it, you are also practicing to, remembering to be in that awareness. That is what we are talking here. And that's why it is very important to understand how conscious you are, how unconscious you are. There are two ways of living, if you really look at it. Unconscious living and conscious living. We all understand unconscious living because we are living through that. Most of the people are living through that. Unconscious living is all about reacting, right? You are lost in thoughts. You are driven by your emotional turbulences. You are in an autopilot mode where the behavior is already framed, right? Automatic. You're just making things happen in a spontaneous way. That is unconscious living. What is conscious living is basically observing, aware of your thoughts. In every given moment, you are aware of your thoughts. You are witnessing your emotions. You are not getting carried away. You are not getting driven by it. You are witnessing. Yes, this thing has come, but that thing has nothing to do with me. Let it pass. That is awareness. And you are consciously responding. You're not responding haphazardly. You are consciously responding. Before you say something, you hold, you pause, and you say it in the awareness. So the core insight that we all need to bring together as part of awareness, right, exercise, is not to get lost in the way I am, right? It is for us to remember in every moment that I am the awareness. That's the goal. We don't need to see. What I do is, in meditation today, what I do is I stop my life. I say, I don't want anything. I do nothing. I am nothing. I'm sick. Everything I'm saying, no, 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 no. And I'm just going and then shutting off everything and then closing eyes and saying that, okay, let me become that awareness. Okay. I'm not saying that you're stopping the life, but the point is, you don't need to stop the life to be aware. You just need to be aware while the life is happening. That's the point. While my life is happening, every single moment, from morning till night, I am aware. That's the goal. That is the real goal. From here, we need to get there. So, for me to try to get to that point, what do I need to do is, I am getting lost in my own identification with thoughts. I am getting lost with my emotional, overwhelming things that are coming in my emotional, my habitual activities, action reactions. I've habituated so long, right? My constant mental chattering and activity that goes on and on. Why is my awareness not there today? Is because of these reasons. You are already that awareness, what you're looking for, but you are lost because of all these things. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to remember that, okay, awareness is never lost. What is lost then? My attention is lost in the thoughts. That is the important truth. Awareness is never lost. Awareness is always there. My attention towards that is lost because I am lost in my thoughts. I am living in my own thing. Whatever that inner voice that we are hearing, we are all identifying with that inner voice, and we are thinking that that inner voice is truth. In fact, that inner voice is ego. Ego needs to sustain. Ego does not have a physical representation. How ego sustains is by your inner voice. Whatever the inner chattering that you get from the time you get up from your bed in the morning, And before you hit the bed in the night, whatever that inner voice that you are hearing, do this, do that, this is good, this is bad, you need to get that, you need to go there, all that is the identification of ego. That's why the death of ego is enlightenment. Right? You have to disassociate with that. You have to, that shattering, whatever is happening to you, you have to understand that is not the truth. That is illusion. That is false. That is what making us forget or not put our attention on the awareness. That's why we are getting lost. This today morning, for example, you woke up, tomorrow morning, first thing you woke up and you said, okay, here are the 5 things I have to do. Have we ever questioned who is the one saying that these 5 things have to be done? We never question that. If you question and you don't answer it, if you question it and you try to answer it, then it is again mind, again ego. The ego that is giving you that activity to do those 5 things, and the ego that is subtly telling you that I am that I am. When you ask the question, I am awareness. If you speak about it, if you talk about it, if you sense about it, then you are not that. Where is that awareness? Awareness is in the silence. The moment your mind starts to chatter your day's activity, you start to look at it and say, okay, here are the 10 things that I need to do. Simply ask the question, who is the one asking me to do all these things? Who is the one asking me to suffer? Who is the one asking me to go do that? Otherwise, you will be delayed. Otherwise, this, that, and all that. The moment you ask and you stay in that silence, there will be no thought. That silence is awareness. You're right there. You cannot identify your silence. You cannot connect to that awareness with any of your sensual activities. It is beyond that, nor with mind either. But mind is so clever that the moment you ask the question, it will respond. Oh, I am the one, right? Who is, then you say, who am I, right? Who is this I am? The moment who say, oh, you are enlightened. It can also, the ego can also lead you to the false state where it will tell you you are already enlightened. You don't need to get enlightened. That is the power of mind. It is not easy. It takes conscious remembrance and practice in your meditation to get there. Once you get it in the meditation and you experience that awareness, you understand the concept of awareness, then you practice. Today's session is to take you into the living world and be able to be in that state of awareness. When you're teaching, when you're talking, when you're walking, when you're sleeping, when you're doing anything, you will still be able to stay in that awareness. That's the beauty, right? Now think about it. These are the simplistic ways, and I'm trying to put it in a very simplistic way. That way, I don't want to confuse with too much of wordings because there's a lot that you go in once you get deeper. Truth is very, very simple. What makes it complex is our ability to understand through the mind. The mind makes it very complex, and that's the real thing. It makes it so complex that we get lost in the process and we say, okay, it's okay, and let it go, right? And also I'll tell you, a lot of times, the questions come my way is, hey, they ask, hey, I need perfect conditions to be aware. You don't need perfect conditions to be aware. If you understand how awareness works, how you are in your natural state, you don't need any there is no external condition or internal condition. You are already there. You just have to realize that you are there. I have so much work going on. I don't have time. I've got too many priorities going on. I cannot do it. That means that you don't have the basic understanding. Your work or your work stress cannot prevent awareness because you are already that. And then there is also this notion that I need to withdraw. I need to withdraw. I need to withdraw. There is nothing to withdraw. You just remember to be there. That's it. Right? Awareness already exists. What you are remembering, all you are doing is you are remembering to there. even when you are fighting with someone else, even when there is a conflict, even in your work, even when you are parenting your kids, even when you are driving, you will be able to come to that awareness. That's the beauty of it. So the basic concept that we have to start to look at it is, because there are three different modes of living. The way we live life, everyone, right? The way we live life is in three different levels. One is the reaction mode, which is where majority of the population lives, where everything is autopiloted. You have certain things to do, you go after those things, you accomplish it, you go again, you accomplish it. It just life go on, reactive mode. The second is the observation mode, where you are in the midst of it trying to understand what is going on. When in that case, that is conscious. You are conscious about things, what is happening to you. Then the third is being. Being mode is effortless awareness. You're just there in the awareness. That shift is very subtle. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to get to that effortless awareness. That is the goal here. So I'll give you a classic example. Is someone in your work, typically, let's take an example of a conflict, right? Someone criticized you at your work. Okay. What is the typical reaction for anyone? Is like, either I try to justify that conflict, or I retaliate in my own ways, or I defend my position, right? Something like that. Naturally, you do that in a reactive mode. That is a reactive mode. In the observation mode, what happens is you notice that a shift is happening. Something is triggering in your inner process, right? Your chest is getting tired, or your breath is getting harder, or something like that. You'll start to notice in the observation mode. And you understand that ego is triggered now, right? There is a triggering of ego that is happening in that conflict, in that criticism. In the being mode, if you really look at it, what is happening in the being mode, that's the beauty, right? It is like criticism is happening, you are aware of criticism is happening, you are aware of the sensations arising within you. You are no longer tied to that psychological story. How do I need to react? How do I need to defend? How do I need to justify? All that is not there. There is no ego triggering process. Nothing is there. You simply are aware, and you tell to yourself, who is aware of the hurt? Who is the one that is getting hurt now? That is effortless awareness. And that is the real practice. That is where we are to be. The remembering to be, that is our real goal. And that is the real transformation. And that is mastery. Basically, you're master at that point. So we are not trying to become. We are what we are. All I am trying to do is, I am trying to not get lost in things that I have associated myself. And these associations are some things that I brought to myself. Nobody has given it to me. Over a period of time, I got my memories. Over a period of time, I got my activities. Over a period of time, I bring things to myself as part of entertainment, as part of association, as part of daily, family drama or life drama, whatever you call. You brought all of them together, and those are the ones that are bothering you, or those are the ones that are blocking you to go and be there, be what you are. And all we are doing here is we are remembering that we got to go back. Even though all these things are some things that I brought, I don't have to associate with them. I can just see what is happening. Then you are not in the play, you are outside the play. Right? You play the drama as drama. You don't get carried away. There is absolutely no carry away movement there. Because now that you understand all this is coming and going, and you have nothing to do with it, right? If you take an example, if you go to a stage, you play an actor role, and then there are other 10 other characters playing in, you are not one of that actor. Who you are is the awareness that is in all of them is what you are. That is the realization. When you have that realization, there is no acting actor, there is no nothing there. You just do it, whatever it needs to happen, you need to happen. And lot of times there is also this confusion that, okay, if I lose my identity of ego in the presence of awareness, am I gonna leave this world? No, you won't. You will live the way, exactly the way you are. Only thing is, there is no attachment, there is no misery, there is no suffering, there is no fear, there is no death. You know very clearly that none of these things can touch you. So, in fact, what happens when you live with awareness, you live the life fully, to the fullest possible. Other way around. Today, we are not living the life fullest. When you are aware, your life becomes fullest. That's why enlightened master you never see them do anything. They don't shutter for anything. There is nothing, even the world falls down, they look at it and say, okay, what happened? Nothing happened. For you and me, it may seem like what is going on here, right? Because we don't see it like, we immediately attach it to the world and we react to the situation. Because they understand it's illusion, they don't react. They just look at it and then come back to their state. So, and the other illusion is being awareness doesn't mean that you will be leaving the family and going into, mountains or Himalayas. Nothing like that. Nothing is going to happen. You will live your life. The morning will happen to you. The coffee that you drink, you will still drink. You will do everything what you're doing. Only thing is, you are living the life to the fullest moment, and you are living moment by moment. That's the beauty. At that point, there is nothing for you to talk. Your presence itself is enough. Your presence itself is enough. Your words are enough for others to receive the energies. When you are talking, your words are enough. The vibration that you are releasing through your words is enough for other person to go into meditative state. That is how powerful it becomes. Your presence itself will solve situations automatically, because what is there? Only the reason we are talking is because silence is not understood, but silence is the language of enlightenment. So at some point we have to come back to that silence. All right. So now what we will do is we will do a micro awareness practice, right? The reason I'm saying micro is just to give you that small experience, right? Just what happens in that, right? When you are looking at it, right? So consciously, whatever you are trying to do, see, observing our own body becomes difficult during conversations, right? Pausing while you are reacting is not an easy thing to do. Okay. Noticing the change or shift of your internal dialogue, or your tone of your voice, while you are having a deep discussion, that is going to be, different, right? These are all some things that we can do consciously, but we are unconsciously stuck in that phase of it where you don't see any of that happen, because I don't have the observation capability, and every moment I am getting connected to the moment and getting carried away with the moment. I don't have a way to pause. I don't have a way to reset. I don't have a phase to, come back and then look at that moment as a moment, right? Small things, how do I see to experience awareness? A small real time actions is what you have to practice. While, like while I'm talking to you, I'm going to raise my hand, but I have a very good feeling and I have awareness that I have raised my hand, right? Feel the movement of the hand coming up, observe the intention or the action that this hand is trying to do, right? And then slowly be aware throughout the process that, okay, I have lifted my hand, and while I'm lifted my hand, I'm still talking. and my hand is still up. That subtle awareness while you are doing things, that is what it is. So if I am able to, like, let's please raise your hands, right? Let's do this together, right? Just raise your hand and then feel the hand. Feel the hand. Please feel your hand. And feel your hand to see where your hand is at and how it is feeling to you. You have like 5 fingers, everything is there. You can really feel it. It's not like, it's not halfway up. It is fully, straight up, right? You can really see that. Feel that movement in your hand. Observe that intention, that action, whatever is happening. When you felt it, right? Okay, I want to raise my hand. How did the hand came up? Now your hand is staying, right? Now stay aware throughout this process. How is your, now let us repeat it with breathing. Now you do the breathing. How is your hand gesture feeling when you're breathing it? Be aware. Be aware. Don't keep your hands up. Just be aware how when you're breathing it, how you are feeling it, how you're breathing, and how your hand is feeling. Just be aware. Just be aware of those subtle movements. That is important. How is your sitting posture? Do you feel the sitting posture? Your back is straight or back is bent, or sitting on a sofa or couch. How do you feel it? Your sitting posture is in line. And do you feel like your hand is really starting to ache? If you want to move your hand little bit, just move little bit, like that, right? And then feel that awareness, right? That movement and then awareness. That space in which all of these are happening is the awareness, masters. That's the beauty of it, right? So the idea here is awareness can exist during your action. While you are doing things, awareness can still exist. This is the very example. What we have just observed is a classic example that awareness can exist in action. While you are doing an action, it is still exists. But then why am I not able to do it? Because I am not able to come back to that. That's the thing. Now what we'll do is watch the thoughts that we have done this in the past, right? Let us come to, let us start to close our eyes, and then just get the thoughts in, and then we'll go into that state of, and then we'll see how it can happen, how awareness can exist along with your thinking pattern, right? Along with my thinking, how can I have my awareness also exist? So close your eyes. Just take off your glasses, close your eyes. Let just settle yourself in the best posture. Just bring your attention to your breath and then slowly start to observe. Let thoughts come. Let thoughts come. Okay? Do not stop your thoughts. Let them be there. Watch them as they rise. Just watch your thoughts. Just create the distance. You are the seer. Have that subject and object. Just be there. Just watch your.
ಇದು ಕಡ ಅಂತ ಹುಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರ ಅಂತ. ಅದೇ ಇದು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು.
Watch them as they rise. Now, don't stop your thoughts. Just watch them as they arise. Now, let's add one more line. While your thoughts are happening, just be aware. The space in which the thoughts are happening, the gap between the thoughts, all that is awareness. And you slowly recognize that you can see clearly that your thinking and awareness can coexist. Thoughts are there, you are aware that they are coming, they are going, you are in the space. Just be there. Now we will just shift into the emotional movement. Just stay aware. Just bring any real life challenge, any emotion that you want. Bring a mild emotional situation. Just feel that, feel the emotion. Stay away from sensations. You don't have to go through the sensation, just stay away. And don't get lost in the story. Just feel that emotion, keep it with you. You can feel, while the feel is there, you can observe simultaneously. If you are able to catch that, be the witness of the emotion. That's the key. Be the witness. You're just seeing that witness. Just know. So awareness is possible during an emotional activity, during a mental chat, during a physical action. When I'm talking, I'm aware. Take 30 seconds. So awareness is possible even in your emotional turbulences, even when you are worrying, even when you are afraid, even when you are guilty. At any given point in time, awareness is always present. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Feel free to post it or text it if you have anything to say on it. So it is a very simple act of trying to be aware while things are happening. So this is what the daily life should be. In the daily life, the space in which everything is happening, if you are able to be there, then you start to dissolve those situations. There is no attention given to the lost thoughts or emotions, then all of that will get dissolved over time. So there are 3 levels of practices that we have to look at it. Right? Awareness in action is like, the core sides that we have to understand is when you are aware, you are practicing it, you are not practicing trying to be in the awareness. There is a formal way that you do, which is like, sitting in meditation and trying to get to that state of awareness. In meditation, we say it's a practice. The only idea is because you are trying to be with the breath instead of with the mind. Right? Instead of mind activity, you are with the breath process. And the next level is a transitional level, which is awareness in simplistic actions. Right? What about the simple, like the way we did the hand thing gesture, right? You can be aware while doing it. You can just, bring and practice little bit. Slowly you are able to get there, right? And the third one is integrated level. Integrated is basically awareness in all of your life activities and situations. You are able to live the life with awareness, right? So the idea is, yesterday we spoke about, in silence you are getting there. Today we are shifting that and saying that, okay, awareness should not be limited to silence. What it should be, it should flow into your day activity, into your life. So we are expanding that into the next level to show that, hey, it is not just, yes, silence definitely is there, meditation definitely is there, simplistic actions definitely is there, but I wanted to integrate this in my life. That is what we are. That is the bridge we are doing here. That is the gap we are bridging today with today's session. So I no longer have to meditate for me to be in awareness. That awareness, what I have experienced in my meditation, or what I have kind of, caught hold on to, I try to live that same thing even outside. Doesn't mean that, okay, when I am practicing outside, I don't need to go inside. No, it is not like that. You still have to do your breath meditation, because that is where the purest awareness you will experience. The more and more you experience awareness in that phase of it, it becomes easier when you're outside of it. So it is the inner will reflect the outer. So inner reflection is more important. And slowly you start to bring that into the outer, and then both will get aligned. That's the idea, not the other way around. So start to bring that into your daily lives, and then see how this is going to help you to shape up things and all that. Right? While you are doing conversations, while at work, while there are challenges in your life, while there are critical moments that you are facing in your life, bring awareness. See yourself bringing that awareness back and see what happens. That is where miracles happen. Right? So integrating into the daily life is the key here. So we are almost on the time now. So what I just want to make sure that you are remembering, right? So as a reminder, set, if you want, you can use your phone, use your phone and then set reminders. Am I aware right now? Right? Just a simple command like, am I aware right now? And randomly pick sometimes and then have your alarm clock, kick you, or a mental, clock remind you that am I aware in the right. And then the daily activities that we do while eating, walking, like speaking, listening, see if you are able to be aware, right? And when there are conversations happening, there are little more, activities happening, try to pause yourself, try to observe yourself, and then see if you are able to respond. Right? It is very natural. I also want to give you a few points, right? It is very natural in this remembrance of it. You will also forget it. Awareness will drop. This is a very natural thing, right? And you cannot force awareness. Forcing yourself to get there creates tension. It creates the friction. Awareness is a gentlistic notice, right? You're just noticing. Gently you're noticing, right? And also know that, not you will be able to go into that 100% of awareness at the start of remembering. It develops gradually. Small movements, small shifts, small remembrance in the transcendent activities, all of those things will help you to go into that awareness in a larger space. Because today, it may say only for macro seconds when you are trying to be aware. Slowly, as you practice, it may go into a couple of seconds and all that. It gradually develops. You're not going to just become aware and then stay in that awareness for a long time, because the mind will resist. Remember this. It will also tell you that this is a very difficult thing. You cannot do it. It is gonna play its own role, right? Nah, I don't, I'm so tired, I cannot do it. Tiredness has nothing to do with being aware. It will try to pull things in front of you. That way you will not, because when you are aware, remember, that's the end of ego. So it does not like. The one thing that your mind does not like is losing its identity. So it will try to play any trick and anything and everything, try to bring you back. It will also give you false protection that yes, you're enlightened, you're already there. Look at this piece, look at this, that, look at that experience. You already went, you're feeling so peaceful inside, even though everything is happening, all that is your mind. The fact that you're talking, it's mind. So it is just, you keep returning with no pressure. Keep returning to that state, no pressure. Just let it naturally happen. Over time, you will start to see that shift within you. It becomes so natural that wherever you are, whatever you are doing, your awareness can never be lost. Then comes the real part, right? How do you end up getting into that final state when you get enlightened? That's when seva becomes your part of life, and all those things will come, which we'll talk in subsequent next two sessions. I know it's already 9:05, so I want to keep it open for a few questions. Srini sir, any questions?
Yeah. So there are three questions so far that are posted in the chat. Question from Gayatri. It says, awareness and enlightenment, are they same?
Awareness is yes, I mean, it is kind of, right? Stabilizing that awareness and going into the stillness and being in that state, yes, is enlightenment. So if I say awareness today, whatever we practice, is this enlightenment? It's the first state of enlightenment, because you become the observer. Observer is the first state of enlightenment. Then you have to stabilize that observer and you have to become that. So it is like in the path, yes.
Okay. So the next question is from Purnima. How do I handle if my kid ignores my question or my ask?
What is it? Kid.
Ignores my question or my ask.
Okay. How do you respond?
Yeah, how do I respond? Correct.
You respond asking the question again. See, the thing is, your ego will say immediately you react, right? Ego will react saying that, why are you not answering me? I'm calling you 10 times, and all that is the ego space. If you are in the observing space, like we talked earlier, what you do is you do a subtle change in you. You feel like, okay, he's not responding to me. You are observing all that happening, right? And you also see that ego is triggering that, why he's not responding to me and all that. When you are in the awareness state, what happens is you just see who is the one that's feeling that he's not responding, right? You don't try to compromise or you don't try to fight with the situations. You are aligned with the situations, knowing that those situations are happening under your space. That is awareness, right? So if he responds, if he doesn't respond, you are not jumping up and down. That's the thing, right? In the typical scenario, we usually just react, right? Spontaneously you react, and then there is no going back on that, right? And then that will trigger few other things happen. Here you are not doing any of that, right? There is no this connection triggering two other things or anything like that. This thing movement is happened. In this movement you are fully aware, you live through it. It doesn't respond, you do it again. It doesn't respond, you do it again. You will be absolutely in a more reciprocative way, in a very responsive way, because there is no inner urge for you to go fight or conflict, or you're not looking at the identities, right? That's the important aspect.
Okay. Next question is from Rajni. When we bring awareness in critical situations or happy situations, are we not losing the feel of the situation?
You're not. You are experiencing the fullest extent of that feeling in that awareness. Remember, right? Awareness is the core of what you are. You are in your natural state. You will be more happier when you are in the natural state, not when you are with an identity that can only allow you to be happy time blocked, right? Time sensed.
Yeah.
Right? You are happy right now, and then 10 minutes later, you're not happy. In the awareness, there is no happy, unhappy. You are there, and you realize that who is the one that is getting this happiness? Who is the one that is getting unhappiness? You're in the source all the time. You're not in the effect trying to figure out how the effect needs to be nullified, how the effect needs to be switched. You're always in the cause movement, right? Okay, this happiness is coming, this happiness is going. Okay, who is the one aware? I'm not the one, I'm just there. That is the infinite bliss. Brahmananda comes when you are in that awareness, right?
Yeah,
Ananda that, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, my exact question is in the starting sessions, we were discussed like when we are aware, when any thought comes, when you are aware, that thought will get dissolved or lose its strength, right?
Same thing will happen now too.
Yeah, so when we are aware, if you are happy, will that also loosen the strength?
Yeah, see, awareness means Brahmananda. In the awareness is a state. In the state, you have the bliss. When you are in the bliss, whatever happens in your mental space, your emotional space, your physical space, everything will be nulled. Everything will have to dissolve because there is no identity there.
No, if happiness dissolves, then we don't want to lose that happiness, right?
You are in the Brahmananda, madam.
Okay.
You are asking for Alpananda. You want the Alpa Svalpananda?
Got it.
You want the limited happiness or you want unlimited happiness?
Unlimited happiness.
Awareness is unlimited, Brahmananda.
Unlimited. Okay. Got it.
There is no question of identity having. See, your identity always gives you happiness in a limited frame.
Limited. Okay. Got it. So awareness is the actual bliss. Okay.
Brahmananda is the ultimate. When you are in that, you won't be asking this. This question.
I'm actually feeling whatever the discussion of today's class, sir. Actually, I'm trying to be in the awareness whole day without knowing that today the class will be on the same topic.
Same topic.
But yeah, but I was experiencing the awareness from the day one, when I know that there is awareness and we should be aware. So I'm trying to practice, almost there. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir, for all the words and for all the practical sessions. This it's really helping me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is from Gayatri again. During meditation, we see observer and observed someone, which is watching both. What is that recognize that I am seeing both?
What is that recognized?
Yeah.
You are the observer. You are the observer is you. Observed is your thought. It can be your emotion. It can be an action of bodily activity or someone talking to you, whatever it may be. Right? In the space, whatever is happening, that is observed. Observer is you. When you become the observer, you are the one who are seeing it. When I am able to see my thought, how can I be my thought? I cannot be thought, right? I'm able to see that. Means I'm different from that. I'm able to see my emotion. Means what? I am not the emotion. Emotion is happening and I am the one seeing it. That is the recognition. That recognition we should have. And over a time, when your awareness starts to stabilize, that observer, that process stabilizes, then everything will start to become one, where you are not trying to identify this and that. You are always in that state of awareness. That is the goal, right? See, awareness is not something that you enter, you exit. It is not like, okay, open the gate, I am there now, open the gate. It is always there. It is what you are. In every moment, it is what you are. You just remember to go there, right? You have to remember to be in the, see, when the thoughts are coming to me, when the emotions are happening to me, as this one, right? As observed, when actions are happening to me, awareness is existing there. It is there. I just have to remember to go again and again, again and again, again and again. And this is a whole exercise. This is a whole idea of meditation. Right? Meditation, what I am doing is, I am nullifying my thoughts. I'm bringing my emotions down, right? By bringing my attention on my breath, I'm bringing my mind and breath together so that my mind can dissolve, not give me thoughts, and I can get into the void, which is a no mind state. That is nothing but in the state of awareness. But at the start of it, because thoughts are not totally gone. In the void, you still get thoughts. When your thoughts come, then you bring your attention back to breath, then you lose the thought, then you are still in awareness. So the more and more I am in the void, the deeper and deeper I go, my awareness starts to expand. It gets solidified, it gets stabilized. When that gets stabilized, you start to realize, okay, this is what I am getting in my meditation. Now you are ready to go out and do it, or you live that. Here, what we are doing is that exact experience, what you are getting in meditation, you can also get outside too. It is just that you need to know how to get that. That's what we are doing here, because it's a transformation workshop.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Next question is from Lakshmi.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, madam.
I think that you gave a scenario where you get criticized, you become aware of it. So how would you then what will be my response? Let's say I got criticized. I am aware, now I'm aware through the breath and the sensations that it's not me, it's just happening. So how do I in the real world we need to say something or we need to give answer, right?
You see me, what am I doing now?
Just okay.
Smile. You will smile.
Smile.
When you are in the awareness, there is, because when you realize it for a fact, right now it's a fiction, right? But when it becomes a fact, all you do is you just smile. That inner smile will come to you to say that, this is just a drama, right? And then at that point, you do it, you don't do it. There is no identity there. There is no catching hold somebody to make that happen, right? You just do it in that spontaneous thing and then you leave, because you recognize it's a drama. Right? What happens when a director looks at a particular act, and then he knows, right, what's the before act, what's the after act, what's the during act. He's just going to look at it. Okay, we can do better next time. That's it. Leave it. Right? Like that, you have the full picture. The other person may not have the full picture. That's why he's jumping like monkey up and down. But since you have the full picture, all you do is you recognize the innocence of the, it's like a child's innocence, right? You do that. That compassion, that love, that gratitude, those things will become part of your life. Even though you want to scold, you cannot scold. There is no identity there. Anger is the identity of ego. There is no ego for you anymore. Where is the question of you raising voice, doing? Nothing is going to be there. You just smile. Move on.
So question is that if there is answer, yes, I agree, smiling is good. If there is an answer that's required by the opposite, like what how do I,
You
without
answer.
reacting, how do I answer, or what need to be done?
See, at that point, there will be no reaction whatsoever. Reaction is an identity. You're not the identity.
Yes, there is should
So
not be any
you will
reaction.
respond. If that question comes to you or conflict or you have to respond, you will respond. You will respond the way you will respond. That you will not, you will not run away, you will not, escape. There is no escapism at all, right? You are fully living the moment. When you are fully living the moment, you are embracing it. So whatever that expectations is there, you will serve, you will fulfill it, but not the way the other person is doing it.
Okay. Other
So you do
person's expectation, like how you should be
exactly.
reacting.
Exactly. You may not be doing it that way, and that's how they fall to your vibrations.
Okay.
Your smile will attract them. Your vibrations will attract them. Your energy will attract them. They will see that, okay, there is something here. There is real something. They may not know about it. They may not know, but they will know that, okay, there is a level of, there is something here. That feeling, see, in the feeling, everybody has that awareness as a feeling, right? So other person will start to feel that maybe I'm not doing the right thing here, because he will see your energies. He will see, because when you are in the awareness, you are at the highest energies, right? So things will start to transform your way. I'm not saying that in every occasion and all that. Even if you put an intent also with the mind, sometimes masters, what they do, they bring the intent of mind and say, I need this. And then they release it and then go back into the, be in that awareness. They don't catch hold on to that. And for them, intention is basically, it happens, it happens, it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. They're not connected to that. For us, it's not like that. When I put an intention, I'm holding on to that intention to see whether this intention is happening or not happening. If that does not happen, then I get worried, because I still carry the identity. That's the difference.
Thank you. I think it's very much clear. I'm going to face some situation. This will be my being aware of it, that it's not me. It just
Will really, it is bliss. Words cannot express it.
okay. Can I have one more question?
Then
So being awareness is the blissfulness the people talk about it. Is it blissfulness is same as awareness?
You will get to that blissfulness. When it stabilizes, you will actually be in that blissful state. So what we are doing now here is, whatever we are now, we became aware, right? So if I say, how do I define this? You are in the first stage of, if you went into awareness today, then you are in the first stage of enlightenment. Now this enlightenment opportunity is the doorway for you to get to that bliss, ecstasy and all that, right? Which is the next phase, where the observer and observed are becoming one. In that oneness, right? You are stabilizing that awareness. Right now you are there, you're not there. You're there, you're not there. This has to stabilize, then that comes to you. The more and more you are in the awareness, the more and more you start to see how the shift is happening within you. It is tremendous shift. The changes are very subtle. Like you may be thinking that my life is going to be significantly different. Nothing like that. There is nothing you will see in your outside life or your inside life. Nothing. The only thing that you see is you are awaking the dream life. The daydreaming is no longer there for you. Night
Thank
dreaming
you.
anyway you have. Daydreaming won't be there.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's 9:20. I think we can probably take
Can I
the
ask one
other
question?
questions tomorrow.
Can I ask one question, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
తెలుగులో అడుగుతానండి.
What is it?
తెలుగులో అడుగుతాను.
తెలుగులోనా?
అది ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏదైనా డే టు డే ఎవ్రీ మినిట్ సమ్ వర్క్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం కదా, సబ్ కాన్షియస్లో ఆల్వేస్ లైక్ అబ్జర్వింగ్ యువర్ బ్రెత్. when we do that, so when we అది చేసేటప్పుడు డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిపోతాం కదా సిచ్యువేషన్ని. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ మెడిటేషన్ ఆర్ నాట్, ఆర్ ఇట్స్ ఎ రాంగ్?
That's mindfulness. Observing breath during the daytime is becoming your present. When you are present, you are mindful.
డే టైం అని కాదండి, ఇప్పుడు నేను లైక్ ఇంట్లో వర్క్ కానీ ఇప్పుడు స్కూల్ ఎక్కడైనా వర్క్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా వన్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ మైండ్ వర్క్ ఈజ్ కాన్సన్ట్రేటింగ్ ఆన్ యువర్ బ్రెత్. మనం పని చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాము కానీ మన మైండ్లో ఏమో ఇదే ఉంటుంది, ఈ థాటే ఉంటుంది.
అవును. అంటే బ్రెత్ మీద మీరు ఎప్పుడు మీ అటెన్షన్ బ్రెత్ మీద ఉందనుకోండి, యూఆర్ మైండ్ఫుల్ అని అర్థం. అంటే ఎప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో ఉంటారని. బ్రెత్ ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో అవుతుంది కదా, సో ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో ఉన్నారు అని, ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో మీరు పని చేస్తున్నారు అని అర్థం. అంటే దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే బయట ఉన్నప్పుడు దాన్ని మైండ్ఫుల్ అంటాం, మైండ్ఫుల్నెస్.
ఓకే,
మెడిటేషన్ కావాలి, మైండ్ఫుల్నెస్ కూడా కావాలి. మైండ్ఫుల్నెస్ విల్ గివ్ యూ దట్ కేపబిలిటీ టు డూ ద వర్క్ ఇన్ ఎ వెరీ ప్రొడక్టివ్ వే. ఇస్ దేర్. That mindfulness itself will lead you. That present moment itself is awareness also. Awareness అంటే ఏంటి? ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో ఉండడమే కదా. అవేర్నెస్ పాస్ట్ ఫ్యూచర్ లో ఉండదు కదా మేడం. అవేర్నెస్ ప్రెసెంట్ మూమెంట్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో మీరు ఎటు తిరిగి ఎటు వెళ్ళినా అక్కడికే వస్తాం, అవేర్నెస్ లోకే వస్తాం. అవేర్నెస్ కి వచ్చినప్పుడు అక్కడ హౌ యు ఆర్ స్టికింగ్ ఆన్ టు ఇట్ అండ్ హౌ యు ఆర్ లుకింగ్ ఎట్ యువర్ లైఫ్ ఈస్ హౌ ఇట్ గెట్ డిటర్మైన్. బట్ యు ఆర్ దేర్. గుడ్ మ్యామ్. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ దట్, దెన్ కంటిన్యూ టు డూ దట్.
ఓకే, ఓకే అండి. నేను మిగతా క్వశ్చన్ మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడతాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ. లేట్ అయిపోతుంది.
Yep. Thank you, sir. So if any of you have questions, please note it down so we can take tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow we will have. There is a very light discussion that we will do. Tomorrow is day 10, right, sir?
Yeah.
Day 10. Yeah. So we will talk about gratitude as a gesture. Very, very light topic, and then we will open it up for Q&A for most of the time, right? And then we'll spend time on Q&A. Okay. Please bring your questions. This is enlightenment is not a mystery, friends. It is just your lack of remembering and lack of understanding. We will just clarify all the doubts, whatever you have. Just bring it together. We'll have a beautiful, beautiful way to discuss this topic. All right.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
We can get started with meditation.
Start it. Please kindly take off your glasses, sit very comfortably. Today, awareness, as you kind of practiced awareness, let us also use the breath awareness. This is breath awareness, right? So using our breath. Close your eyes, bring your attention to your normal natural breath. Just be aware. Yesterday we did silence meditation. Today we do silence meditation as well. Be in the awareness. Just observe your breath. Bring your just line up everything. Close. Just be there in the moment with the breath. Become one with it. More and more you are aware. All problems will vanish. Be with your breath, my dear masters. Be with your breath. Be with your breath.